Good evening, Lake Orion. How you doing today? I'd like to give a special shout out to our film guy, Glenn, who does a fantastic job with the camera work. I'm your host today, and I am a Taormina. Yes, indeed, Lake Orion. This is Between Taorminas here on ONTV. So I'm going to say hi to my brother Sammy, and I'm going to say hi to who's this thing?
Hi.
Yeah, who's this thing?
How you doing?
Yeah, who's this thing?
Spoonie.
Hey, Spoonie.
What's up?
Hey, we got lions.
We do?
Yeah. So let's start talking about the depressing and misery that is of the Detroit Lions.
All right,
Ian,
good
we
talk.
talked about going into week 5 that you projected a few weeks ago that they would be 4-1, they'd be 3-2.
What? When did I say that?
You said this about 3 weeks ago. There is film out there that concludes my argument.
How drunk was I?
You had to been extremely drunk.
kidding.
Sammy said that
I'm
the
not
Lions
Steve
could go
Sarkisian.
0-5. Yep, and where are they at? And the Lions are currently 0-5. So explain your reasonings why the Lions are 0-5. Both of you. Let's start with Ian first.
Well, it looks like they're not accustomed to knowing how to throw the football down the field. It seems that their lessons on blocking for the run were missed because they don't know how to do that either. And they are really good at giving the opponent great field position in their own zone.
Amir Abdullah phoned the ball twice. Matthew Stafford got benched. They turned it over a lot. They have fans bringing back the paper bag. I'm planning on bringing paper bags for both me and Ian.
Where's mine?
I don't know where it's yet.
Darn it.
But it's been so miserable for this football team that what it's kind of expected with the Lions is this is a team that's a joke in the city of Detroit. They're a joke. I mean, I did it on my Twitter page. Who would I take between the Lions and 3-year-olds? I take 3-year-olds. Who would I take between the Lions and the Powerpuff Girls? I would take the Powerpuff Girls over the Lions. Who would I take between Senator Jim Marlowe and the Detroit Lions? I take Senator Jim Marlowe because you know what they all have in common? 3-year-olds, Powerpuff Girls, and Senator Jim Marlowe. They can beat the Lions. They can run a program much better. They do a heck of a job. They would do a heck of a job winning football games for the city of Detroit. Ian, what's your take about what Golden Tate said in the press?
I've got to wonder, is this real life anymore with the Lions? Because you look at all the heartbreak, you look at the disasters, you look at the joke that the organization is, and then you look at the fans. And the fans go to the games, the fans watch, the fans buy the merchandise, there's season ticket holders that are in high demand. And then for your player, after a 42-17 loss, which they shouldn't even have scored 17 points, after that performance, one player who coughed up the ball and gave it to the other team, literally just gave it to the other team, has the audacity to criticize the fans. I'm confused what leg that man Golden Tate has to stand on. He's got no leg to stand on. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's a millionaire playing a game, and he's calling out people that come to watch and pay lots of money that don't have lots of money. It just seems a little misguided.
In the minds, do you think, wow, you actually got a standing ovation?
I'll be here all day.
That's sad. All right, anyways. Do you think that the Lions are the type of team that will give fans a mediocre game?
What do you mean?
Like what I say about the Wings. They take your money and give you a mediocre game. Do you think
How many you cannot compare the Wings to the Lions. Even you two who hate the Wings.
I didn't say I hate the Wings.
You don't like the Red Wings, but you can understand and appreciate that the point of the game that they play is to win, and they win more than they lose.
I take you two over the Detroit Lions because you two would be intelligent, and even people in the ONTV set.
You're saying Ian's intelligent?
I would take the ONTV set people here who work here at ONTV and put them against the Detroit Lions, and they would win.
You know what the problem is? You know what we would do if we ran the Lions? Okay, we like to think we know football. We like to enjoy football. But what would you do as a Lions owner? I tell you what I would do, and I think you'd do the same.
I think fire the entire organization.
You'd fire everybody, and who would you hire, though? You would try to hire the best football people to run your football team. The Lions are an organization that hire non-football people to run their football team. It's like, you know, you throwing me out.
Secondary.
They must, because it's not about the game anymore. They lose too much for it to simply be about winning football games, which is what you should be in business to
I got
do.
a question for both of you. Matthew Stafford.
Done.
Think he's done?
He's done. He's got to be done.
You think Houston should make a trade to go get him right now?
I don't know.
I think, yeah, I agree with you. He's done. I mean, Dan Orlovsky is awful.
He is, but you don't bench your quarterback in the third quarter. Your 27-year-old quarterback. When does that happen?
Do you think that he's been beat up? Because the O-line
your
is
offensive
terrible?
line is awful.
The offensive line is, by God, awful.
How many times did Orlovsky get hit? Not many. Stafford just doesn't look good. And Joe Lombardi doesn't do him any favors. This offense doesn't look like it is there to play to Stafford's strengths. When Linehan was here, he threw the ball downfield a lot more. And that's Stafford has got a gun. He's got a cannon. Can somebody tell me?
Why did they fire Linehan again?
Well, new coaches, new guys. Is anybody wondering what the deal with this whole screen pass thing is? Because that don't work.
I think the reason why that it don't work is because everybody knows it's coming. Because because Joe Lombardi is so damn predictable. It's not even funny. This team, I don't know if they change coordinators and all that, but...
Well, I think Lombardi needs to go.
You know what? You know what should happen?
Starts on the O-line.
You know what should happen? They're talking about moving the Rams or the Chargers to L.A. Why don't they take the Lions?
I agree.
Get them out of here.
Get them out of here.
This is torture.
You really don't want to have a football team in Detroit?
I'll watch college football, and I'll be a full-time Saints fan if I have to. Because the Saints won a Super Bowl.
Wow.
They played for a Super Bowl.
They lost last week to Philadelphia.
They've been bad the past couple of years.
Bad.
But they're more respectable than the Lions. The Lions are a complete joke. Do you realize
the Saints are respectable?
They're one of the oldest franchises in the league.
The Saints are respectable. The Lions are laughable.
Do you think the Lions beat the Bears this week in Ford Field?
Let me get my phone. I don't have my phone with me, but can I borrow a phone?
For what?
I need to call somebody.
No, I don't have a phone on me.
Call Jay Cutler?
Hello? Jay Shira? Yeah. Do you think the Lions win this week? Okay. Thank you. My source says, hell no, they don't win this week.
You know, Chicago went down to Kansas City and won a football game.
Yeah, Jamal Charles out for the year, though.
True, but they still beat
Still
Kansas
a
City
good
on the
win.
road.
Chicago's gotten a lot better. They've gotten better a little bit. Jay Cutler's gotten going.
Well, he came back.
He came back, got going. And, you know, Chicago, the thing about the Bears, what they did it without two of their better players, and they still won. And they've come back the last 2 weeks and won.
And they have a real coach.
Those are character games for
John
the Bears.
Fox, very good coach.
So,
Chicago wins this by 3 scores.
Can I throw something out there? Just a little nugget of hope, if you don't mind. And I don't think it will ever happen, but it's a fantasy. So bear with me real quick here. Who's Baltimore's coach?
Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh.
How's Baltimore doing this year?
Bad.
You think he'd be the next guy?
Is there a changing of the guard in Baltimore?
No.
No? Harbaugh's going to be there next year?
Harbaugh will still be there.
No chance he comes and joins brother Jimmy
All
in the state of Michigan.
All right, guys, we'll be right back with Between Taorminas on ONTV.
This year's 2015 Lake Orion Boot Bash will be held on Friday, October 16th at the Orion Center from 6 to 8 p.m. There will be many fun activities for the evening, including hay rides, face painting, pumpkin decorating, and more. Don't forget to wear your costumes, bring your camera, and a trick-or-treat bag for all of your goodies. You must pre-register for the event by calling 248-391-0304, extension 305. It's $11 per child for ages 10 and under. If you have any questions, contact the Orion Center.
When I'm in Lake Orion and I want to catch up on sports, I watch Between Taorminas.
Back to Between Taorminas on ONTV. Man, we need to get Bernie on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Do you agree, Ian and Sammy?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I think we do.
Nah. No need. Nah. We only need Pat Caputo.
No, we need Bernie here. Bernie make good television ratings.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Who knows? We get on WDFE too.
Maybe.
Who knows?
That'd be great.
Could be. All right, Ant. What are we talking about?
There's a big college football game happening this weekend at the Big House. Michigan State versus Michigan. Ian, what
Finally,
do you,
two teams
Sam,
that play
let's talk to
football.
Sammy first. Sammy, what do you think about this matchup?
Finally, two teams that can actually play football. I mean, Michigan University has actually played. They're better this year. I'm going to be honest with you. Michigan University is better.
They've shot 3 straight opponents.
They shut out 3 straight opponents, but look at Michigan
Only
State.
gave up 7 points against UNLV.
Look at Michigan State. You know,
They've been beat up.
I understand they've been beaten up, but their offensive line, I know this has been an offensive line that has found ways to win, unlike the Lions. But Michigan State, the reason why they're 6-0, this is a good football team. You know, Connor Cook, very experienced quarterback. Be his big test, though, going up against Michigan's defense has played much better.
Number 1 in the nation.
Number 1 in the nation. But I just think, you know, the drop in the rankings to number 7, Michigan moved up to 12. I just think when you look at this game, it's going to come down to everyone's the rushing battle. Michigan's passing game is very suspect still. So this be a heck of a game. And game day is going to be there. College game day will be there.
Ian, what do you think?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
Jim Harbaugh.
Why?
He's too good.
Why?
He's a pro coach in college football, playing with a decent recruiting class. Hope could recruit. He had players. He had talent. He just couldn't coach them, obviously, and now they have a coach that can. State's beat up. I don't know if they're playing possum or what they're doing, but they have not looked good.
They have not looked good this year. Well, a lot of the injury bugs, you know. And even admit, when they played Rutgers, you know, the plane even got broke. So I don't know what it is with Michigan State, but they're just finding ways to win games right now.
So do they find a way to win on Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Ann Arbor.
In Ann Arbor. Because Michigan cannot throw the ball very well.
Ant,
Do a drum roll, please.
you got to get more notice than that.
I know, but still. The Michigan State Spartans go into Ann Arbor and beat the Michigan Wolverines. Why? It's simple. I am not going against my boy, Mr. Robert Aiello, who guaranteed Michigan State would beat Michigan in Ann Arbor.
When did he
Do I think
guarantee
it's going to
that?
happen? Yes. I think the reason why, Michigan State has experience. Michigan State knows how to win in these tough environment games. Michigan hasn't truly had a tough test in terms of
Utah.
Well, Utah, whatever. But I mean, look,
Utah.
Michigan State knows how to win in these environments, and I think they go into the Big House and they beat Michigan.
Are you calling Northwestern a bad football team?
Northwestern, I mean, look at their passing game stats.
Northwestern's
They're
passing
not
game
very
is
good.
horrible.
All right. Fair enough. So you're that confident, though?
I am that confident Michigan State goes into the big house and beats Michigan.
Truly.
Yes.
Sam?
I think Michigan State beats Michigan.
Wait, move your head. Wait, right? No. Back. Right there. Oh, no, up forward a little bit.
I think Michigan.
A little bit. Oh,
I think Michigan State beats Michigan this week, and here's why. Michigan State has a guy named L.J. Scott who's going to run the ball against Michigan's defense. I know Michigan's got a good secondary and a good their defensive line is not the greatest. I think that Michigan State's offensive line. I think Allen will be back for that game.
Conklin?
Conklin will definitely be back for that game. Their offensive line, I think, is going to be – they're going to get up for this game. Let's not forget, Michigan State always plays well with a chip on its shoulder. Mm-hmm. And let's look at what's going on with Michigan State. They've made a drop in the rankings recently. You know, and let's remember the stake
They're
last
talking
year.
about Michigan.
They're talking about Michigan. You know,
Michigan's favored by a
Michigan's
touchdown.
favored by a touchdown. The spread is going to be the reason why Michigan State has a chip on its shoulder. They're going to have enough chips on their shoulder to beat Michigan. But the difference, I think, in this game is going to be is can Michigan be able to throw the ball against Michigan State secondary? I know Michigan State has been burned defensively the last couple weeks against Purdue and Rutgers, but let's look at Michigan, though. Michigan, even though has not been tested, their secondary, I think, will definitely be tested against Michigan State's wide receivers. I think Michigan State's receiving core will be the difference in this game. Even though Michigan's got Jabril Peppers, but I just think that Aaron Burbridge, McGarrett Kings, I think are going to be a huge difference in this game. And also Josiah Price, I think, is going to have a huge game against that Michigan defense and what DJ Durkin's going to do against that is the defensive coordinator at Michigan. So I just think the difference is going to be Connor Cook, senior experience, senior quarterback. He knows how to win the big games. He's 29-3 as a starter. I just think that Connor Cook will get win number 30 this week in Ann Arbor.
What are you picking?
I'm not picking.
Why?
I'm too scared.
Why?
No, get honest.
Yeah. Me and Sammy picked.
I guess I got to stick with the Spartans then because I thought they'd win earlier. I would say one of the most important things in college football is an experienced quarterback. Cook's won in Dallas against Baylor.
Yep.
He's won in Pasadena against Stanford.
Yep. And can I finish? Stanford, remember Michigan reminds me a lot of Stanford.
He
Why?
beat Ohio State in Indianapolis.
Here's
Ohio
why.
State in
Because
Indianapolis.
Jim Harbaugh's offense has a lot of tight ends, a lot of run. It's very similar to Stanford. That's what Michigan's offense is right now. It's basically very similar to what Stanford does, and I think it's going to be a difference maker in that game. But I'll let you continue.
And I also have faith in D'Antonio.
Mm-hmm. Gotta have faith in Coach D, what he's did over there.
I am still puzzled by the games this year. They've confused me. I don't know what they're doing. They don't look good, State. That's where my hesitation comes.
Well, injuries have hurt this team.
Yes.
You got to look at that, especially in the secondary, especially in the offensive line. The secondary, I know the linebacking group. I know we got Riley Buller there, but the problem with Michigan State right now is their secondary and also linebackers and the offensive line. You get those things addressed, things cleaned up. I think this could be an undefeated football team hitting Ohio State.
One quick scenario I'd like to run by you. How cool would it be if State won on Saturday and both Michigan and MSU went on to beat Ohio State this year?
That'll be very good. I think Michigan State will be in the college football playoff in the Big Ten championship
They
game.
both might be
I
in the
think
playoff.
both those teams are more than capable to, Michigan
Michigan's
State's
got one loss,
go to
though.
Columbus, but Ohio State's got to go into
Two
the big
losses,
house.
yeah.
I don't
Right
know
now.
if I see Ohio State going into Ann Arbor and beating Michigan,
But you see MSU doing
but
it?
I see Michigan State doing it. There's more of a chip on their shoulder.
You know,
whereas
the
Ohio
best
State's
cow-
been complacent.
The best college football team right now this year is Utah. You know what I mean? I think Utah is probably the best college football team in the country.
Michigan played them tough.
Michigan played them tough. But you got to look at what's going on there Oregon, of course, I'm very disappointed with Oregon, you know what I mean, especially because they lost to Michigan State close, and then they got rocked by Utah. They lost double overtime to Washington State. Are you kidding me?
We'll be right back with Between Taorminas on ONTV. Hello, Oakland County. It's the Sammy Taormina talking OA now. In it, we'll talk various stories ranging from the state to Oakland County teams affecting the OAA. Catch us here on OA now. Hello, Lake Orion. It's Anthony Taormina, co-host of Between Taorminas. I want to let you know of a new show called History Now. In it, we're going to talk about global, national, and political events that occur in our lifetime. We're going to also have guests and also have co-hosts as well, and also plenty of surprises. Catch us on History Now here on ONTV.
Hey, this is Mickey York from Fox Sports Detroit. When I want to get the inside scoop on local sports, I watch Between Taorminas or Fox Sports Detroit.
Hey, I'm on my phone.
Welcome back.
And I thought you were the host. Come on.
Welcome back. Well, look at your mugshot's on there. Who'd want to have a mugshot like that?
It looked like somebody just went to prison.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, who would want to have a mugshot face? Well, not like Sammy, but who want to have a mugshot face like Ian? Who? Let me answer that straight. Nobody. Nobody wants to have a mugshot face like Ian.
Who wants to have a mugshot? In general.
Apparently, you like mugshots.
I don't mind mugshots.
All right, let's talk about the
Knock on
Dragons.
wood.
All right, let's talk Dragons. Dragons won on homecoming, beat Bloomfield Hills 24-0, got Clarkson this week.
Didn't look good.
Why?
Because they were too it felt like they didn't want to play in the second half. They a lot of injuries.
Those cocky Dragons.
Not cocky, but they just didn't look good. This had intensity in the second half. It's just a difference in intensity because they looked well in the first half, but they just didn't do well in the second half. And by the way this is looking right now, it looks like Clarkson, they're getting better. They're getting their act together, and it could be a long night Friday night in Clarkson.
How many losses do the Wolves have?
Two.
Two?
Two
To
losses. Lost to Dakota, and they lost to West Bloomfield. Weeks 1 and weeks
Wow.
3, respectively.
What was the score of West Bloomfield? Did they get shut out?
No, it was 35. I think it was 35-14. 35-21. My bad. 35-21.
It's still 2 scores.
Mm-hmm. Well, West Bloomfield's very good this year.
Right.
They're extremely good. I mean, you're talking about a team
State
that
champs?
could potentially get a state championship. They're in the contention for state championship, West Bloomfield does, if they can get the right draw and the cards fall right for them. Here's my view on it. I think that the Dragons did what they had to do. They beat Bloomfield Hills, who, let's be honest, Bloomfield Hills is not very good. But the Dragons did what they had to do. They beat Bloomfield Hills. They shut them out. They won on homecoming. But that's a good thing. The Dragons have an unbelievable opportunity ahead of them. They have an opportunity because if they beat Clarkston, Clarkston is 5-3. Clarkston needs to win this week to clinch. But Clarkston is 5-3. They're
4-3.
Well, 4-3. No, they're 5-3.
4-3 coming in.
Oh, 4-3 coming in. You're right. 4-3. So then,
5-2.
5-2. You're right. 5-2.
You guys.
So if Orion was to beat Clarkston goes 5-3. They're already guaranteed to play the crossover against Southfield, who is still very dangerous. And Southfield could beat Clarkston. So you imagine, and if Orion could beat Clarkston and Clarkston were to lose to Southfield, Clarkson won't get in the playoffs.
Here's
there's
the
an
thing.
opportunity for the Dragons to potentially get
Here's
it done.
the thing. What is this? Your mind.
Mental.
Mental.
You're right.
That has been the biggest problem that this program has had since 2010. You know, that I can understand
11
and 12, you know, give them those 2 years of pass. But ever since 13, this team has got absolutely crushed by Clarkston. And you look at what's going on with this team. This team, the reason why this team has been getting their butts handed to them by Clarkston is because their mental mindset is not in it. You know, you look at the problems that this team has. You know, they're the reason why Clarkson has done well. They're the reason why. You know, Clarkson's had 2 very good classes. But you're going up against one of the all-star Nolan Erickson. You got Michael Fugel's playing much better. And, of course, they have put in a quarterback, of course, who's taken over the job, and Alex Kessman, who has done very, very well for Clarkston.
Also a kicker.
And also the kicker in the last few weeks. So this is going to be a very difficult game for Orion because one thing is they got to get healthy. And, of course, it all depends with Jalen Wiggins. Jalen Wiggins did not play last week because he was concussed. If he plays in this game, Orion's got a shot. If he doesn't, Orion's got no chance.
Well, I mean, do you think that this is a program game? Because you look at how the comparisons between the 2 programs.
Absolutely.
Do you think that this is a program game between the 2 schools?
Absolutely, it is a program game. Because you look at Lake Orion, the problems they've had in youth football, and Clarkson's had a very good youth football team.
Yep.
And then you look at the middle school leagues. Of course, Clarkson, they're always solid. Orion in the middle schools has kind of struggled, you know, when you look at Walden and Oakview. And then you look at, you know, and then, of course, you got the high school ranks. Of course, you know, freshman, JV, freshmen's always had battles, as you know. JV wasn't close last year, but I can
Lake Orion alumni coached the Clarkson JV team.
I can see the JV game being a lot closer than people think this year, and also the freshman game being very close. You know, I see both those games being close, but this is a program game. If Lake Orion has any sort of relevance, if they have to win the varsity game.
Do you think that Orion, you know, because we talk about Clarkston's defense not being the best.
They're not good.
Do you think that if Orion's offense can somehow, you know, dictate the tempo, the line, I would say the line play, both offensive and defensive line, is better than Clarkston's?
I think the lines are better because you look at.
Know, I mean, Orion's got a shot.
They got a shot, but
I mean, Clarkson's not this big, bad, powerful team.
No. They're smaller than they've had in recent years. But the key for Orion in this game is you have got to use your passing game. You have to find a way to use it. And then, of course, defensively, you got to find a way to contain Clarkson's passing attack. Mitch Heaton's a good player. Hayden Schnorr's a good player. But Shaner's a good player. I mean, like, you have Erickson and Fugel will run the ball. And it's going to be a tough challenge.
And hopefully the defense is ready for it.
Hopefully.
And then what happens next week is the crossover. You're looking at either North Farmington, Oak Park, or Farmington.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. So, all right, guys. So this concludes this week's episode of Between Taorminas. Any final thoughts?
Lions
Sammy?
suck. Oh, sorry, what?
Yeah, Lions do suck. We both agree on that.
Catman?
And we
Lions
both
suck.
And we both know. We know you're a Royals fan. I'm sorry about the Kansas City Royals.
Oh, did they lose yet?
No.
They're about to.
Rough.
Should we have a Texas ALCS?
Yes.
Ugh.
All right, Between Taorminas, have a good night and see you soon.